All right, let's see how fake news NBC reported on this mother who was jailed for opening her hair salon back up. Yeah, NBC, part of the mainstream media that supposedly goes to bat for women and women's rights.
Now to the race to reopen and the deep and sometimes confusing divide that's causing with
the confusing divide that reopening the economy is causing? What's to be confused and perplexed about? We need to open the economy. You see, NBC's already trying to side against people who want to end the shutdown.
The virus still taking many thousands of lives each week.
You see how NBC is trying to juxtapose reopening with death. Why doesn't NBC talk about how the death rate is nowhere near what the Ferguson modeler guy was saying? Why doesn't NBC talk about how this Neil Ferguson guy has a long history of being wildly inaccurate?
More than half the country is carrying out plans to get people back to work, while others simply defy the rules.
Defy the rules. They're rule breakers. Shame on them. Why can't NBC characterize them as soldiers fighting for our civil rights?
Here's Miguel Almaguer.
And I'm going to skip further into this report here.
The mixed messages playing out nationally come as some 10,000 Americans died from coronavirus complications every 5 days over the last month.
Okay, 10,000 every 5 days. So there's 330 million Americans. That's 0.00003%. Again, they're trying to emphasize death. Why can't NBC emphasize the economic catastrophe that this lockdown is causing? Or why can't NBC report that Stockholm, Sweden is going to reach herd immunity within weeks? Eventually, the United States and Sweden are going to be neck and neck as far as deaths per million. The only difference is that Sweden won't have completely destroyed their economy for years to come.
In Texas, where COVID cases surged 35% since last week.
Okay, I looked up Dallas, a total of 125 deaths. That's in a city of 1.345 million. That's a death rate of 0.0000929%. That means 1 out of every 10,760 people have died of COVID-19 in Texas. But if the media says 35%, that scares people much more. And how many people have died from other reasons because of the shutdown? NBC never reports on things like suicides, people skipping going to the doctor if they have a mild heart attack, etc. And how many people have been financially devastated because of the shutdown? But the whole purpose of this introduction is NBC's trying to purposely juxtapose death before this report about Shelley Luther and her salon in order to try to turn viewers against her.
The defiance has led to detention.
I'm not closing the store.
After Shelley Luther opened her doors in Dallas, a judge put the salon owner behind bars for 7 days. At this West Virginia barber shop.
Whoa, that's it? We're just going to leave it at that? Absolutely no outrage, no rebuttal, nothing. No mention why she refused to close her store. She said it was to feed her children, but no, NBC can't report on that because that would tug at the heartstrings of viewers, and NBC wants to continue the shutdown so that the economy will tank even more under Trump. And no mention that the Attorney General offered to serve her 7-day sentence for her, and he paid her $7,000 fine. And no mention that they've raised $500,000 for her on GoFundMe because lots of people support her. And no mention of the harsh words that he had for this rogue judge. And NBC failed to mention that the governor also harshly criticized this judge. So nothing to see here, just move along. Okay, and so finally, let's see what fake news NBC had to say on day 2 now that the Supreme Court reversed this rogue judge's decision.
As frustration mounts over restrictions, in Texas, the Supreme Court ordered the release of a salon owner who was jailed after refusing to close her doors. In Oklahoma,
and there we go again. That's it. Once again, zero details, no explanation why. No mention that in 2 days, hair salons are going to be allowed to open anyway. So she was jailed over a ticky-tack line in the sand. But no explanation of the circumstances, just fake news propaganda designed to influence minds to the left. And so NBC, they want to extend this lockdown for as long as possible because it'll hurt Trump's economy. And whenever there's a crisis under an incumbent president's watch, the people usually hold it against that president, whether justified or not.